Would you eat your own child? Really? You are painfully hungry. Hungry as in you've eaten grass soup, and now grass lays dead beneath a layer of snow. Would you? It's the winter of 1933 in countryside Ukraine. Last year's harvest was terrible. The droughts and heavy rains, plant disease and lack of proper sowing technique by the industrialization of it all produced only half as much as the previous year. The Soviet government straight up gambled on good weather that never came, but they rationed the food anyways and starved you for months. Your relatives in the city help you and your family as much as they could, but they don't have enough even for themselves now. Hunger is nothing new. It began 4 years ago when Stalin turned you, along with your livestock, into state-owned farm labor in a process known as collectivization. Your parents refused, but their neighbors forced them to, even loading hay onto soldiers' trucks for them. They took it all away and made it their own, and in exchange you got a meager payment and a sizable tax. A year ago, your area was given fewer tractors, but was asked for more grain, since they allegedly counted on your higher farming skills compared to others, which had produced great results on the harvest of 31. Collectivization was more than the higher-ups taking it for themselves and giving you what remained. A few months back, they closed down the church and arrested the local priest. When the peasants in your village dared to protest, the entire village got blacklisted. Loans and grain advances on which you counted on were called in. Men in suits confiscated supplies, food, and livestock from your house and your neighbors as well. They allowed stores to open, but any outside trading was forbidden. Since nobody had any money coming in, the closed economy quickly failed. They cordoned the entire village, and since last winter, a passport has become mandatory just for leaving the premises. A small group of men planned an exodus towards a village that wasn't blacklisted. In the end, only they tried to cross the cordon, and now they work in the gulags. Some of your cousins snuck into the collective farms at night, behind the guard's back, to steal onions and potatoes. They managed to, and for a few hours, hunger was but a memory. It's not that the guards didn't see them, it's that they waited until morning time to arrest them, so everybody could see. They too now work in the gulags. A few weeks later, the men in suits came back, searching for alleged hidden grain. One of them will just stand there and yell over and over again about the penalties for not surrendering what they were looking for. They tore up houses and barns and took what they pleased. And of course, there was the village quota. They took grain set aside as seed for the next season, grain issued to collective farmers for previously completed work, and even emergency funds. Hunger is nothing new, but it is now worse than ever before. Milk from your last cow allows you and your family to live a little longer. Except that when you don't have food for the farm animals, then the farm animals have to go, even more so before they steal them. Now not even the men in suits show up to confiscate food. They let drunkards run brigades and take everything edible. You and a close group of friends resort to burying beets and potatoes on the side of a path where people walk, where they won't notice them. Then you choose an hour to dig the food out. You make use of wells, too, for hiding grains. You take only a small amount to not raise suspicions. But even that runs out. The good people die first, those who share or give away food to their children. Their burial is not always possible. With no food, Peasants rarely have the strength to dig graves very deep, so hands and feet rise above the ground. Burial crews are paid by officials according to the number of bodies collected, so they take the weak along with the dead and bury them alive, so sometimes the dead rise from their graves. Cats and dogs are next, if you can catch them. Some have eaten their owners and become savage. Unknown herbs and roots become the main ingredient of soup, causing people to fall in pain and die of poisoning. Orphan children wander the village, their parents long gone. The lucky ones were put on trains, left alone to their own device. The unlucky ones come from neighboring blacklisted villages that now house no one. A mob carries a man out of his house and beats him with fists and sticks until he doesn't move. A woman is burned in the manner of medieval witches. Both have consumed the flesh of the wandering orphans. Parents exchange children, for they can't bear to be the butcher of their own kin to sell in the black market. Your last meals have consisted of tree bark and grass soup, but at least they won't arrest you or kill you for that. But now grass lays dead beneath a layer of snow, and by a mere twist of fate, so does your child. Hunger is not the necessity to consume food anymore, but a sword piercing your stomach. It'll only get worse before you succumb to it. You won't be the first or the last one to do it, and if you don't do it, somebody else will. So, would you?